Dave Helem's in the building. What's up, Dave? Thank you for joining us.
Hey, man. How y'all doing?
Good. Countless trying to make this happen. You're very busy now. You got your writing jobs that you're doing, which is very, very awesome. You also got your family.
Yeah, man. I mean, let's not bullshit. Like, I live in Inglewood. Like, that is the...
Yeah.
Like, black folks don't live over here. Like, and the fact that y'all have a studio over here, I appreciate you. I just wish that y'all had one closer to
the wood,
just closer to niggas in general, like the valley. Like, if you are black and you live in the valley, I will probably talk to you via a letter.
Okay,
more so than in person.
Like a mail letter or like a pigeon letter.
Just a mail letter. I mean,
straight snail mail.
Like, this is like Oregon.
It's a journey.
Yeah,
it is a journey.
You take a train to get here. That's. You make plans. You drink wine on your way.
Like, to get here, literally, I have to drive through East-ish LA down Manchester, Figueroa, which is Figueroa at night, which is like what the strip, right?
Well, during the day too. But go ahead. Yes.
Okay, yeah, you sound
you've
been there. Yeah. I was there. I was shocked.
You've turned that corner before.
So I was during the strike. I was doing the Uber Eats, and I ended up down on Figueroa Street in the middle of the day around lunchtime, and I look up and I see this very skinny woman walking across the street and foot-high stilettos and her ass cheeks out. And I'm just like, okay, this is Los Angeles, so I'm trying not to be surprised. So she called, and I'm like, this is strange. So I had to go. You
circled back.
I was
let's get down to it.
I was dropping off prescription pills from Rite Aid. Diabetes pills specifically.
You didn't check the man's prescription?
I mean, I had to. So I was just zigzagging through this whole neighborhood, and on every corner was a bitch.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
what you said. I mean, I said Figueroa, which probably ain't no better. But the way you said bitch, like, it was super.
I was just like, what the fuck is going on? So I had to call my friend because this is a new revelation for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, there are hoes on Figueroa Street.
Yeah.
What is happening?
No.
You ever see those mannequins with the mesh outfits?
Yeah,
that's for them. Like,
yeah.
And I never realized that. And I was like, this is who's buying them see-through 21 Forever 21 dresses.
Yes.
So.
Well, did you see? There's a guy, I think he's on YouTube, that he has like a drone and he flies it over Figueroa Street. It's like on TikTok or YouTube.
Now, this is just you.
No, it's
you
not me.
You went down a rabbit hole.
This is Keenan.
Because I Googled, I'm like, is it
I've
true?
never seen
if
a
there's
drone.
true hoes.
That shit did not come up in your algorithm. Like, you typed that in. You was like, drone over Figueroa.
Everything I see in Los Angeles, I try to fact check. And then I'm like, oh, there's a whole TikTok.
But you saw it with your own eyes.
Yes.
But they've been out there for a
I
long
was
time.
like, is this like a special? Is this like does this happen once a year? Mm-hmm. No, apparently.
Hoeing is one of the oldest professions known to man.
Yes.
We need to stop being surprised about it. We should actually legalize it. Just make it normal.
Yeah,
if they want to sell it, just sell it.
I mean, at this point, dating is.
Thank you. I was just going to say.
That's what dating is.
Is what? Sex work?
Prostitution.
It's basically, you need to spend $10,000 on me on the first date.
My boy said he was at Bungalow, Santa Monica, meets this girl. They talk, chop it up, light talk. The first text that she sends the next day is like, could you pay my rent? Screenshots and sends it out to the guy chat. I'm like, what? Like, that's wild. So what did you say back? Nothing. I said, bro, there were so many different responses. Much good stuff. So we collectively encourage
in the
them.
Group chat.
You need to respond. Here's some options. Just copy and paste. Let's see where this goes. But like, this could be good. But everything's for sale, and I don't judge nobody selling anything.
Yeah, that's a bit extreme for a first time meeting somebody, though.
But I hear that's normal, though.
But that's the thing.
At this point,
that's normal.
I give it up to any of my guy friends that are married right now, and they always say the same to me. They're like, yo, because I told them stories about the dates I go on. They're like, yo, I would never be able to deal with. And I'm like, it is what it is.
But let's not get sidetracked. Okay, I came here for y'all.
Yes.
So I went through hell, going through Figueroa. Then the 110 is a whole nother battle itself. Just going through that asshole of traffic, the anus of traffic. All right, and then you got to get on the 5 and go through another asshole of traffic. So just know,
I appreciate you.
I care about you.
I appreciate
I would have not been here.
I took out the good stuff because I know you were going to make that journey.
Thank you. I've never been on a podcast. See, I thought you were gonna give me some like some cognac, some maybe some Gentleman's Jack. You know what I'm saying. But you got me some Johnny Walker Blue Label. That's pretty nice.
I mean, you said you want dark liquor,
and then half of the bottle was gone. So
we started. They started before you got here.
I have to say Happy New Year, cheers.
But you were more than welcome to finish it.
That's all good. I got to drive back to Inglewood.
This is true, and it's a long. The thing is, by the time you get done, you may be sober. Who knows?
Krys, you like the whiskey?
Oh yeah.
What is it?
The Blue Label.
Blue Label.
It's a blended Scotch whiskey.
Right?
Scotch.
But
I enjoy this. I am a Macallan girl though.
Okay.
That's
what number?
Women who love whiskey, that's an attractive quality in people,
Thank
man.
you.
So like that's what's up.
I'll tell my sponsor. Dave said it's sexy. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Who's your sponsor?
I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm about to say a joke.
That's so funny.
You just like, yeah, I can have a drink. Yeah, just give it to me. Yeah.
That mezcal. I mean, I don't know if you drink mezcal, but
I do.
See, come on, man.
Yeah.
What? Let's go.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
But speaking of hoes,
okay.
Was that a him or me?
No. You
or me? Wait a minute.
No. I just wanted to get out the way because this is how we start our podcast episodes down and dirty. This is supposed to be a nerdy movie podcast. No, it ain't that right now.
I love it.
You were on this show called Rap Shit.
Okay.
Yeah. And specifically episode 2 or season 2, episode 4. Mm-hmm. Your name's in the credits as written by. Congratulations on that. The episode's called Detour. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed the episode because Raina Rain reminds me of the white girls that are on Wildin' Out. And my question is, was Wildin' Out, like that whole culture, was that like an inspiration for this character of Raina Rain, along with the combination of how the hip hop industry is when it comes to like white artists and stuff? Or
so for season 1, I was not on season 1, right?
Okay.
So I don't necessarily know how the concept of Raina Rain came. I don't know if it came from Wildin' Out, but honestly, like if you look at Instagram, like quote unquote bad bitches are no longer like black women, but they want all the black features, right? So I think really it's just a caricature, however you want to say it, of what internet. See, black folks are so dope that people want to be it so bad. And I'm not new saying this. Paul Mooney said, "Does everybody want to be a nigga? But nobody want to be a nigga?" Yes. Right? So you look at rap now. Like I hear so much shit. I'm like, oh, who that? And then I look at the profile, and it's not a black person no more.
Like Iggy Azalea. That's who I kept seeing.
No, but that's like whack shit. But I'm talking about like dope shit, bro. Like I mean, the people who I'm like, oh, this is a black person for real. And then I was just like, no, it's not. You know. And I'm not talking about like Jack Harlow. I'll find it in a second, but I just hear music where I'm like, this is good. It's like they have learned how to just
emulate it
because that's American culture. It's not like black culture no more. That's just what
it's American.
I saw LA Kings advertisement. It said LA hockey just hit different. Like what the fuck?
Who did that? Yeah, who did
hit different? And hockey?
Yeah.
Come on,
like you'll see like an Arby's commercial and they'll be like, y'all good? And it's like,
who you talking to?
We don't be eating Arby's like that. It's redneck truckers that be eating Arby's. What are you talking about? And Zetas.
What is wrong? We definitely editing that out. What is wrong with you?
But
Jesus.
That's the longest look away I've ever seen.
My aunties, cousins, everybody about to fight me.
But
put a note in the credits, Keenan. Cut the part. Good.
But what I was saying was the way the character is written so much is that you have that feeling. Because I've done shows with Wildin' Out white chicks. And I remember one specifically. Raina Rain reminded me of this one. I'm not going to say her name. But you can tell... You can tell that she's appropriating. She has a hair that goes all the way down to her feet.
Right.
She has the big old clothes. She has the big shirt. Everyone in the crowd loves her.
Right.
Right? And then it's like I go on stage and I have to convince people that I'm likable as a black comedian, right? But then she goes on stage and does everything that they expect black people to do on stage, and she's like the cool, because being black is cool. Like being black is cool.
Yeah.
Their perception of hip hop culture, blackness is cool.
Right.
So if you're just like a regular person like us, where you're just like, look, this is just my life and whatever, it's almost like they're selling us to us. And then when you don't feel that mold, you're like, oh, now I have to like claw my way up to being respected as a black artist because I'm not a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a rapper. I grew up in the cul-de-sac. You understand what I'm saying? This is
I did too.
This is what my story is.
Yeah.
But for me to gain your respect, I have to fight. I have to like what's Sophia say?
All my life I had to fight.
I'm like, look, I got straight A's in college. What am I supposed like you know what I'm saying?
That's not black.
What cul-de-sacs?
That too.
The straight A's.
Straight A. You're reading?
I just thought of a
How
side
dare you.
podcast you should have for yourself called like cul-de-sac coons, where like you and other niggas who live in cul-de-sacs just talk about your struggles. As okay, never mind.
I think that's
It could be
genius,
done.
actually.
He literally said cul-de-sac coon. See, that's the problem. That's
I just like alliteration. But anyway,
but
Rhonda brings me stress just looking at her. Like I get irritated, like my skin crawls. I just don't like it.
But eventually they get to the point. I mean, that's Shauna's point. Because Shauna's kind of like a cul-de-sac kid and somewhat.
She went to Spelman.
She went to Spelman and all that stuff. So she's like, look, the reason I don't like you, because they're always like, why don't you, all the white people that appropriate body, why don't you like me? I'm like one of the good ones. I'm down for the cause. I'm an ally. And it's like, look, you annoy every inch of your body. Every inch of your weave annoys the fuck out of me.
Well, we know that people enjoy Raina and her appropriation. Like it's if you saw the last season of episode 1, she just straight up bit a meme that was famous, and where she was outside of like a car, and she was just like doing just black phrases like that were popular off Instagram, right? And weirdly, like people react to that. So like she is one of the, even though not liked, she's one of the most liked characters on that show. So episode 4 was an episode that, like, it's a dramedy, you know what I mean? But we put a lot of comedy in that episode. Like some episodes are not necessarily comedy. When Chastity is doing the shit she's doing and shooting and robbing people, like, you know, and if you ain't seen this season 2, then you need to do that. But long story short, man, it was fun writing that episode. It's fun hearing your jokes, make it on camera. It's fun acting in the episode. I made a cameo in that episode as one of the characters in the fish joint. You know, like, so it's just something that I enjoy doing. I enjoy acting like I enjoy writing. So it was cool to make a cameo on a show you work on.
What about the bread, though?
The bread.
You eat that. I was like, okay, all right. I see what's happening here.
Well, job well done. When I knew you were coming on the podcast, I was like, yo, I gotta talk about Detour. I gotta talk about the episode because I really.
And you co-produced multiple.
Every episode.
I'm about to say, I see your name on there. I actually watched the credits because, like, living in LA, I started meeting people. I'm like, oh, these people are working and doing the stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna watch it.
That's a good.
Let me see it all the way through.
Because it's always like I said, you have to work. Like, you know, every job you get, for the most part, you move up title wise. So it's kind of cool to be a co-producer. Not gonna lie.
But that's what's hard about reviewing so many new movies, because at this point it's like, yo, my boy wrote that movie or my boy directed that movie. I got friends that worked on this movie.
What movie is that?
The Blackening.
Okay.
But we're gonna talk about it. But go ahead, Jade.
No, we shall. I mean, like, The Blackening, we're here thanks to friend over at Lionsgate. We have these nifty little shirts. You know, I saw The Blackening a couple of times. Well, the first time I watched it, I thought it was hilarious. And I was like, oh, black games, I'm here for it. We got our Juneteenth celebration, horror kind of dancing into this. So, like, I'm liking what's happening. I watched it again yesterday just as a refresher. not as impressed, but like it's still functional.
It is a little trivia about the Blackening that you may or not know. So Dwayne Perkins is Tracy Oliver from Girls Trip is credited as like the writer on the, and she probably did help write a lot of it. But the sketch came from a Second City group that I was a part of in Chicago called Afrofuturism, and then we went to DC and the show was called Black Side of the Moon, and the Blackening was the first sketch in our show. It was called Horror Story. And Horror Story was also a three-peat sketch. And if you don't know about three-peat is the dopest black comedy improv group you will ever see. Lisa Beasley, who plays, what's her name? Corporate Aaron. Are you familiar with her?
Yeah.
Right? As a part of that. And Namdi, who was a character on The Blackening. Namdi and is another person in 3P. Patrick, Shantira Jackson. Anyway, so long story short, The Blackening came from them, and then we had it in our sketch group. So to see it go from a 3-minute sketch in a show to an hour and a half movie is wild.
Impressive.
So I'm looking at it from like a different lens where I'm just like, yo, good job, Dwayne, to have Tracy Oliver be on your shit and do it like that. And, whether it was great, whether it was okay, whether it was bad, I'm just looking at it like this is something that was made, and it was good enough, and so good, in fact, that they're coming out with a sequel to it.
Well, what's good about it is I always commend black creators for getting it done. What I'm noticing now is I'm very happy when I see a lot of us doing it like independently to a certain extent, like kind of like doing our own thing, creating first, and then having people come give us a call to expand the universe.
Black is trendy right now.
Let's
be honest, man. Like if you have something that is capitalizing on Juneteenth and the fact that like the 4th of July is whack as fuck now. Like the concept of America as a thing like is not really cool no more. Like if you have an American flag or if you have like anything that's patriotic, it's really associated with
the love for America went out in 2010.
What happened in 2010?
Nothing. It just takes 10 years for stuff to stop. Because from 2001 to 2010,
okay,
it was very patriotic. Because
I thought you thought it was the year 2020, and I was like, well, it would have been 2014. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying
because we had September 11th, then we had the wars, and then once we went through the wars, and stuff started coming out, it was like the Vietnam era all over again. People became disillusioned again with the country and all that stuff. And then about when Obama came into office, we were just like, fuck this guy. we were just like, no love for America.
Nah, that was the tipping point.
We're done. Like,
I was gonna say Colin Kaepernick. That's when people started taking that stance.
I could see that. And then we just missed our celebration for January 6th.
The Insurrection Day?
Yeah, I totally missed that. I was going to do something. But I forgot.
Fireworks?
Something.
They were doing them by me.
I was just going to find like some windows to break or something.
Shoot fireworks in the houses?
I don't know. Anything that could have been disruptive as a celebration. But nonetheless. But we came from the 3P comedy, morphed into a film. I given you a couple films that like, we could talk about. You picked The Blackening. Why The Blackening?
Because I think that it's silly. And, it's just one of the movies that you just got to take it as what it is. Like, one of my favorite movies is Pootie Tang.
Okay. Tippy-tay.
Is it going to win an Oscar? Was Chris Rock's daddy a piece of corn at some point in the movie? Right? Yes. Like, it's just... We just got to take it for what it is, man. And just to see. I'm just proud of Dwayne as a friend and as a writer to see his career popping, because it's hard to get your shit made. You know, like people have ideas, they get made to pilots. Pilots don't go. You know, so just to have it go straight to movie, that's a big fucking deal.
Well, and we've had this conversation before when we've talked about movies like House Party and stuff, where we're like, we're the slice of life comedy films. Technically, The Blackening is that. I mean,
close.
I mean, it's definitely wrapped up in social justice and political satire and stuff like that. But at the same time, as a comedy, it's a comedy.
It is funny.
It's a funny comedy. I mean, because there's scenes in it that there's lines in it that you can't help but laugh at.
What's your favorite joke, or like what made you laugh?
What made me laugh? Well, not necessarily the hardest, but really like knocked me out was that when they go into the basement for the first time, and Jermaine Fowler's like, "Oh, a Ouija board." I tried to contact Gary Coleman.
Yeah,
and then he's like, "It wasn't a good experience." like he was like, no, he specifically said, "I tried to summon Gary Coleman. He was not happy." Like I was like, "Yo, that's."
And black people do not mess with Ouija boards too, so like that whole back and forth was constant throughout. The film.
Well, what's great about The Blackening is that I love comedies that if you don't pay attention, you miss jokes.
Yes.
So you'll be watching and you'll see an obvious joke, but you really have to pay attention because people will be in the background just going like bam, bam, bam. That's like what The Blackening was. Like when I saw it in theaters,
that's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I perked my ears up. Like I really try to pay attention to like off kilter jokes because those be the funniest jokes. So I'll be like the Muppets do this a lot. Like the reason I like the Muppets is because you have the obvious joke, but then there'll be a character all the way back here doing some fuck shit, and it'll be like the funniest thing. And so you're like, someone planned that, like someone wrote that was happening. So the fact that you have a writer who has the wherewithal when it comes to how visual comedies work, like movie comedies, but you have to like let things know visually through dialogue and all that stuff. The fact that they were able to, and I think they improv a lot of the movie too.
Yeah, they did. You can hear the ad libs in the background from Dwayne for sure. And there's one character in real life, and she's not a character, but her name is like it's one word. I don't know if you all can pull up the
ex-mayo, Shanika.
Yeah, What is
X-Mayo?
X-Mayo, right? Is X-Mayo? Mm-hmm. Spell that.
X space Mayo.
Oh yeah, X-Mayo. I'm sorry, like SpaceX. But yeah. So like they were comedically like very strong, and there were other people who were like more like straight people. Mm-hmm. But I think that it was a lot of fun. Like the scene when like the small joke when Nambi is shooting. And his gun is pointed wrong
sideways, and
then they take it and rotate it. To me, that was my favorite joke.
I enjoyed that
in the movie.
Well, what's good about jokes like that is that it's not a joke that's lingering. I like jokes that are kind of like shots, like they go in and they come out real quick. Yeah. So the fact that you had the whole thing where he just, but it's just a quick joke, but and everything keeps moving, right?
I like the car ride. So opening scene, well, not opening scene, but as they're riding up and they're like, "Oh, who all gonna be over there?" Like, how many times a week culturally, who all gonna be there is gonna dictate whether I'm coming or not. And now you done tricked me, and now we're in here, and just like that whole thing, and then Molly. I feel like
Molly,
the drug.
Oh,
look what I wrote in my notes. I wrote drugs in big letters.
Yes.
And did like 3 exclamation points and 3 lines. I'm like, they're really into drugs in this movie. Yeah. These are new black people.
Yes.
That's LA.
So. Well, yeah. I mean, the thing about like this movie is definitely like a black Twitter movie. Like it's definitely like it's definitely a millennial new generation of black, because they're doing drugs that like none of our family talked about.
No.
We old, brother.
Yeah.
It's like we
No, this like that's LA black. I've never seen so many black people do so many drugs.
Yeah, it was
until I came out here.
They're doing Molly, they're doing ecstasy, they're doing mushrooms.
They don't drink Blue Label. Like Blue Label is some old. Like they don't drink. They don't drink. They drink pineapple juice and pop pills. Like
yeah.
Get cool.
Yeah, like that's right. No one in the movie smoked weed. None of them were like, "Yo, let's smoke this blunt real quick." They were all like, "Take this pill, drink this alcoholic Kool-Aid, and shut the fuck up." Like that's like how the movie went.
The fact that like I feel like it's almost normalizing like Molly and drugs and stuff like that, where it's just like it was like a tic tac almost. Like, here, close your eyes, take this, boom, let's get the party started. Let's just go. Quick drugging, and then what was the other thing where
they were taking Adderall too in the movie?
The Adderall and tripping out, like ODing on that, and just like the I saw I was like, I wonder did they do this on purpose with the Kool-Aid drink.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Well, then I thought about not only the drinking the Kool-Aid, but I also thought about House Party when they were making the
it was an homage.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was an homage to the House Party scene when he's doing the sugar and stuff, and everyone's looking at him.
It kind of was, or it could be. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Tim Story, who directed the movie, has been getting busy.
He has. Yeah,
he's had a plethora of movies that have come out. What did he just do recently that I just watched?
Dash Through the Snow, I think.
Yes, Dash Through the Snow. Through the Snow. But I just think overall, like for the movie itself, it was a lot of Easter eggs. Like you can go back and just put on headphones and watch it, and just to hear the stuff that is in the background, the black cultural references. I think they did a good job with that. You know, the
Sambo game, I was like, oh, this is cool. And then they had the identifying pieces for each part. I thought there were nuances in it. And the whole game, I would have probably failed. Like the friends, black people and friends, I would have definitely failed that one.
I don't remember the exact.
So the joke was they go. So the joke is how many black people were on an episode was on the show Friends.
Yeah.
And then all of them are actually like they're like, well, I didn't watch it, but Aisha Tyler was on it. And
one episode,
Craig Robinson was on it. Yeah, Aisha Tyler was like, she's like, blah, blah, blah. But then the answer was, the correct answer is, I don't know. I don't fucking watch Friends. I watch Living Single.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
It's a hilarious joke. It's a hilarious joke. So I'm a huge movie nerd, right? So when the movie opens and it's Yvonne Orji and Jay Farrow, two great people.
The people who have to be other projects, so they're like, we can get in here,
in and out.
Yeah, we're gonna come, we're gonna shoot for a day, and then we're gonna leave. But they're great people in real life and very funny comedians. And
very, very funny.
So the first question was, what's a movie? What was it? What's a movie where black people didn't die? What's a horror movie that black people didn't die? First. Yeah. And Jay Farrell's dumbass is gonna say Scream 2. And I'm like, nigga, how the fuck? The first 20 minutes is just Jada getting chopped up. Like, that's...
I don't know shit about Scream 2.
Okay, so what
that
happens...
scene comforts me now.
So have you seen... Jay, you've seen Scream 2, right? You've seen Scream 2, right?
Yes,
of
course.
By the way, Hollywood has kind of hated Jada Pinkett Smith for a long time.
Also,
Let's just say this.
But she was in Demon Knight. She didn't die in Demon Knight.
I ain't seen Demon Knight.
I've never heard of Demon Knight.
Her and Billy Zane. It was a Tales from the Crypt movie.
I mean, they still liked her back then, but
okay, all right.
I'm talking about. But Scream 2. So in Scream, so she played the loud black woman at the movies in Scream 2. At the beginning, they go to the movies. Her Omar Epps.
Damn.
They're sitting there, and she's yelling at the screen, and everyone's like, "Yo, shut the fuck up" or whatever, right? And then Omar Epps goes to the bathroom. It's a whole 20-minute beginning. He goes to the bathroom and someone's jerking off in the stall, and he listens and he gets stabbed at the head with a knife.
No, wait.
Who listen? Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened in the movie. Then
Juice.
Then
Jizz.
Because the sequel was, I guess, a remake of the first Scream or whatever. So they're all wearing the Scream mask. And then he sits next to Jada Pinkett. She's like, "What the fuck? Why do you have a mask on?" Then she gets stabbed. And then she goes in front of the screen.
Yeah, that was graphic. And
dies. 20 minutes. So the fact Jay Farrell's like, "Oh, I know Jada Pinkett and Omar Epps survived Scream 2.
It was dumb to you.
He was going to get shot in the throat.
Yes.
And he was. And he said, "Run, nigga."
He said, "Nigga."
Yeah, Jay Farrell was like, "Run, nigga."
Oh, it's Scream too, though.
No, in the black movie, he said that. That Joe's
No, that's what they were saying in the executive rooms when they were talking about Scream 2. But
I hope we get to get more black. You see so many white projects that get to be silly and not good.
Yeah,
I feel like we hold black projects
higher standard.
to a higher standard. It's just like, man, did you not see Malibu's Most Wanted? Did you not see Kick-Ass 2? Did you not see?
There are plenty of trash white films.
Man, so many. But they
I refuse to watch them.
But they get looked upon as classics a lot of time when it's,
See, that's wild to me. Like, I watch damn near anything. Like, I just enjoy content. So if the trailer looks good, I'm gonna watch it. Usually.
well, the thing is, a lot of those movies, like Malibu Most Wanted and like The Animal with Rob Schneider and all that stuff, I didn't watch those movies. Like, I was like, Joe Dirt, like I didn't like Adam Sandler light. Like, you can't give me like a diet Adam Sandler movie. You need to either give me an Adam Sandler movie,
man. And I like Alan. I mean Adam. I tapped out after probably. I'll be honest. Like Billy Madison was like
Billy Madison was like my favorite film.
Yeah. And then after that, it was like Happy. Nah, I couldn't get in. But these are like iconic white films, and are they great? Hell no. But it's just like they get a pass.
Well, again, for us, Friday is an iconic black comedy. House Party is an iconic black party. Bebe's Kids,
oh my god,
is an iconic black.
Okay, now you we teetering.
No, I mean, yeah, maybe it's teetering a little bit, but I mean, people speak of those. Black people speak of those movies and quote those movies.
That's because we have so few projects, man. Like Above the Rim was not a good movie, right?
No.
But the song from the movie was great.
That's the shit
by Warren G.
I was in the park one day. That's when I saw her face. She looked kind of catty to me. But Big Pimpin' is a great song. Yeah. But guess what? The movie. But I think we just happy to see ourselves doing dope shit on camera. So we kind of forgive stuff. And then this is. Actually, have y'all done Above the Rim yet? Man, dig into that shit. Okay. When his mama's dating the janitor, but the janitor is Leon, right? And then they play basketball, and a nigga pull a gun out on the basketball court. This one day.
I'm at
but
do you think that we know how, or that there are writers and black writers and directors now that know how to do silly and good?
Yes, his name is Keenen Ivory Wayans.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Like,
I'm talking now.
His name is still Keenen Ivory Wayans, but
he just needs to come out and do it, because we've talked about this before. This entire movement that we have of black comedy was started by like Keenen Ivory Wayans and Robert Townsend.
I'm gonna get you, sucker. Hollywood Shuffle. That was just like really smart, dope. I think it's gotten watered down. I'm not gonna lie, but I also think just comedy in general has gotten watered down to just like
well, it's non-cancel culture.
Well,
now.
what
I think that's
what
it's not. It's cancel culture now.
We have to get back to not giving a fuck. Like, that's
I mean,
I've said this before. I'll say it time and time again. I need comedians to have the liberty to be comedians and take off the filters, take off the cancel culture. If you've got a funny take on something, I want to hear, whether I agree with it or not, but I want to laugh.
I mean, it's balances to that. Like, I love Chappelle. Like, he's the GOAT to me. But if I had one more special, just talking about trans people, like I'm going to vomit.
At this point, it does seem like he overkill.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, like what you're saying, it's overthink. But like, I want to hear your jokes. Chappelle's special, "Killing Me Softly," is what got me into comedy in the first place.
The baby.
Yeah,
the baby.
So when you
come on now.
So when you're coming from "Killing Me Softly" and for what it's worth, and even like up until like Sticks and Stones, I thought Sticks and Stones was great. But when it came to when it came to jokes about LGBT and trans, you're like, you did the definitive joke. The car joke is the joke.
It's done.
You don't gotta say nothing else about. Now you're just fucking with us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where it's like, now you're sitting back. You're not giving us. You're not.
Did you watch The Dreamer?
I did.
I don't know if it was just me, but did you feel like towards the end you were watching a comic who thought a joke was going to hit and it didn't, So they're running the light because they're determined, like, I have to close on a big laugh. That's what the last, like, 8 minutes of The Dreamer felt like I was watching.
Man.
I mean, the thing is, I don't know about it, but...
Is that unpopular to say?
I'm gonna let you finish.
I don't necessarily... you should go. You should go.
No. I'm a reserved mind.
I mean, it's hard when you're like a comic and then you make a... Because, a lot of comedians, they're like, well, you ain't making millions of dollars. Like, so... And it's like, look, man.
I could still make observations for free.
But what it is... I guess he's having fun on stage, but he feels like the old guy.
At the club?
He feels like the old guy either at the club or the old guy in the sauna, where back in my day we used to do, he's like, well, back in my day, and it's like, but that doesn't mean you can't still get hoes. Like, I don't, like, if we're at the club, right, that don't mean you still can't get hoes.
We back to hoes again with you?
Yes, the hoes. You just have to, adapt.
Talk about this later.
You have to adapt to get the new hoes. That's all I'm saying. Like it's you can't get stuck. It's like he's being. No one is stopping Chappelle from saying what he wants to say, but he's acting like people are.
Yes. A group chat takeaway again is it's lazy comedy. That's what the consensus was. He's being lazy.
He said it. He's in The Dreamer that he's lazy.
He did. I heard it.
Yeah.
Man. So to that point, and if Dave called me tomorrow, I'm there. Like
me too.
I'm performing, right?
It's
Dave. Just like I want more from my hero, man. And it's like when Nas dropped Nostradamus, right? Mm-hmm. And but not Nostradamus, but it was like a string of like Nas albums where you were just like, what the fuck, Nas? Like, what is this, right? So to see him doing jokes and I asked Dave this because I told somebody a premise about a joke one time that was fucked up. He said, man, that's funny, Dave. Dave Helem, not Dave Chappelle. He said, but you're not funny enough. I mean, you're not famous enough
to pull that off,
to tell that joke. And I said, man, what the hell
that's
you talking
wild
about? But then I saw Dave at the Comedy Store. And I was in my good moods, and when Dave performed, and he was in the belly room, so I'm like, I'm hosting the show. Yeah. He's like, any questions? I said, Dave, what do you think of a comedian? Somebody told me that I'm not funny and I'm not famous enough to tell a particular joke, and he said, man, that's some bullshit, man. Like you should never aspire to listen to that belief. But what I saw in The Dreamer was exactly that. Anybody else doing that same material, and I mean like pound for pound, line for line, the same way, we're going to get canceled. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get so much shit for doing it. And that sucks because then it just screams or comes off like it's a privilege. And not just like, and I can't be like, I'm dope, nigga, and like I can't say that on the mic, and people they gonna be like, yeah, make prove to me that you're dope. But right. Dave, his catalog makes us know that he's dope like that. But
I mean, it is privilege. He's afforded grace that other comedians wouldn't.
People say he's doing white Republican comedy right now, like it's just like very like.
Let's see, here we go. I'm not mad at that take, but like I'm mad that I just processed it. That
it sucks though, because like what makes comedy so great is that no matter how big you are, how small you are, funny is funny. Funny should be the end all be all, and I just don't.
Sensitivity of people has made me fall out of love with comedy. Honestly,
well, also politics have ruined comedy too, and I'm talking either or. I'm talking liberal politics. I'm talking conservative politics.
Well, these bitches have politics at brunch. Like, oh my god, don't say that. It's offensive.
Well, because the thing is, I'm somewhat of a centrist, which I guess makes me off-putting to some people. But it'll be like after
you're in the middle.
Yeah,
you can't be just dropping words like that. Like I'm a centaur.
I'm a centrist. I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle on a lot of things.
Okay.
So I'll do a show. And people laugh, and then I have like people that work at the fucking Daily Wire coming at me. Yeah, you don't let people you ain't PC or whatever. Blah, 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 blah. And that's like I really didn't say anything offensive. I mean, I'm not doing the Dave route. I'm not talking about sexuality or any of that stuff. I'm just saying how I feel about things that have nothing to do with stuff. I only talk about things that have to do with me.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not saying things to offend people, and then a lot of liberal people might get upset at me because of certain things I say. But it's one of those things where I'm just like, all of y'all are annoying. That's basically what the joke is. That's basically what the set was about.
But let's be honest. Like me and I won't say me. I will say, because this is about you, right? So a lot of times when you are not in the box of blackness that people like.
Well, that's the point. Yeah.
Right. Right. Is they shit on it. You know what I mean? And it's like, are you really gonna hear me, or are you just gonna hear the fact that
you're gonna hear the perception you already have?
Are you gonna hear me articulate and my words and be like, oh my god, like that's corny, or like that's like is like you say like we're coming instead of like we coming, like that's bullshit that you go through that.
Well, everyone when it comes to black people, they want black people on their side. So like when you say something that's like that leans a little bit towards what they agree with, they're like, oh, this one's mine, or this one, or he's, and it's just like, yo, like
I don't understand that. Say that one more time.
When you're a black speaker,
okay,
in general, right now specifically, since we were talking earlier how blackness is American, black culture is now American culture.
Oh yeah,
it's global,
and it's being bought to be sold back to us. If you're a black person, people want you on their side. So whatever you say that kind of leans.
Are people white people or not? Or
everybody,
non-black people?
Everybody, but let's say white people. Mm-hmm. Let's say white people on both sides of the aisle. You say anything that leans towards
blackness.
Well, you're a black person that leans toward anything they agree with. They want to snatch you and be like, "Oh no, he's one of."
Give me an example.
Like, let's say, okay. Let's say that you agree that Black Lives Matter, but you don't agree with how the organization has been run. Like you say, yeah, Black Lives Matter. I think we need to get rid of, police states and all that stuff, and black men deserve to live, and we need to protect black women and all that stuff. But it's kind of fucked up how that $90 million didn't get to the people that they said they were raising it for, right?
So you become a spokesperson for like this said company, or
so then people that are anti-Black Lives Matter, the All Lives Matter people are like, oh, see, he doesn't believe in it either. He's like, and it's like, no, that's not what I said. I just said
it's about Lil Wayne,
basically. Yeah,
okay. All right.
It's like, no, that's not even what I said. I just said, yeah. I said I just agree with this, But people are so like.
It goes back to it.
They need you to pick a side.
It's a human thing. They want to find some way to connect and identify, and or feel like they're justified or validate in their beliefs.
And that's what this movie is about.
Yes, and we see that with Clifton. Was spot on. Go,
brothers and sisters. We should call this episode "The Blackening of America." Okay, that is it. Open your third eye. You started with the T-shirt in the movie, but what we really got to is how America has been Cajun seasoned.
Yeah,
has been blackened, and the blackening is really a euphemism, a metaphor for something way deeper than just a movie directed by Tim Story.
I like the fact that I feel confident that every person in this room knows how to spell euphemism. I feel very confident, and that it comforts me.
I had to just double check it, but yeah, I think I'm all right.
Like it really, it comforts me.
It's EU, PH, MI, SM.
I thought that was
MISM. Now I gotta type it out to make sure it was right.
I thought it was EU.
Euphemism.
A.
I've been drinking.
Nah, I got it. I got it.
Was there A in there?
I was talking to well, doesn't matter who I was talking to, but he said something the other day about the trees, the palm trees in LA, and he said, yeah, they're actually palmetto trees. And I said, I'm really glad that you're knowledgeable. And he said, I'm so glad that you didn't say smart. Like just the little things matter.
Nuances.
Yes, they matter.
Yeah.
People be saying I be smart all the time, and I don't think it's
you
a compliment.
So smart, Keenan.
Oh, you look like
knowing stuff.
You speak so well.
They'll be like, yo, I'll walk into the Laugh Factory, and there'll be a dude be like, you look like a smart nigga. It's like, Okay, I'm going.
I've done it my whole life.
I'm going to adults only now to look at porn and drink. I don't know why.
You speak so well. I've gotten when I was in high school, the fucking prep school. I used to get from the teachers when I first came there. They would ask me if I was adopted. I'm like, I'm sorry, come again.
Because you are too articulate.
You are too articulate to come from a black household.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
With Howie Mandel, when he was raised by wolves.
Mowgli, Jungle Book.
No, it was Walk Like a Man. I'm a little bit older than y'all. I'm sure, but it's like
no, I'm old heifer. Yeah,
that is some bullshit.
Yeah.
The fact that you speak so well that you cannot have been raised by
Couldn't
anybody
have.
who is a black person.
It's special.
I like this also the fact that you can also have like the 10% podcast, like where the talented 10th podcast were like, we're not better than you, but we're better than you. Like that should be the log line of the podcast.
All right, so the Blackening.
Jockey Walker.
I love the fact that most of the movie is pretty much based on spades.
By the way,
Good.
By the way, if anyone ever goes to the space tournament at
Tournament.
What did I say?
Yeah, you said tournament.
Tournament. Okay. Yeah. The space tournament.
Okay.
At Jade's house.
I host an annual spades tournament, 4th of July weekend.
Can you teach me how to play?
I will teach you how to play. So first,
teach me how to play.
That was the movie. That was what
the movie
was about.
100%.
So I want to go on record.
I'm watching that.
I have whooped ass in spades in 37 different states. States.
Okay.
I will teach you how to play.
How many stabbings?
Haven't been any. I have been kicked out of a few homes for months on end. There have been tables tossed, but like nobody's got.
Now, do y'all gamble when y'all play spades?
I will.
Like I'm saying, like I've played it, but I've never done it. But is that something that black folks do?
Yes.
Do they gamble when they play?
Most of it's just trash talking. But like, yeah, we can put something on it.
So each game you win,
we say, hey, we'll do $20 a game.
So if you and your partner win, y'all got $10 a piece.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's very doable. Very, very doable. And like, I will teach people. I want to go on record. I offer quarterly courses on how to play spades. It comes with strategy, trash talk, and basic understanding of this game. It is free. You just got to show up. I am sick of seeing trash ass spades players. That's my
basis of spades. Just really knowing what you have.
The basis is following suit and playing to win.
I mean, the rules are very simple.
Very, very simple.
So I don't care for
it. But sometimes you can get lost in the sauce.
But trash talk changes the whole dynamic if you're not mentally tough.
Yeah.
So if you don't understand, how to deal. I mean, you pledged before, so I mean, it's similar. It's mind games. So like, I can lure you into doing something that you don't think is right or is right. Getting set, going back, whatever that may be, and accurately bidding your hand. You do have to analyze.
There we go.
And understand
that's
what
a
this
part
is
of the
here,
game.
and what the potential is, and being able to hear a number from your partner to say, "Hey, based on what you say and what I see, I have the intellect to be able to say, all right, we can get X number, hit that number, and/or flex and set your opponent."
All I'm saying is, be careful, Jade. Don't. I hope a Clifton never shows up to the spade tournament.
I would have taught Clifton, but he did. I mean, he told him, no, you can sit down here and learn like everybody else did. The rules of learning spades for those who are older is, as a child, you either played at a kiddie table or you had to get a chair and just watch the adults play. And when you did that, you would see the flow, the nature of the game. You'd also learn the vernacular, how you going to talk your shit, how you going to deliver it. It's like a joke and a punchline. There is method and structure behind playing the game. Okay. The people who enjoy the game the most and who are good at, boom, we about to hit it. We about to bring it out. We're going to tell a story. We may insult you, humiliate you, confuse you, but there's going to be some laughing, there's going to be some frustration, there's going to be some arguing, but you have to observe that. You don't just jump in the game and be like, oh, let's figure it out, unless it's a soft Saturday and we're not playing.
Saturday. When people say,
let's put these cards around here, but don't say it. I know immediately. Say it.
When people say, "Do you want to play spades?"
How you answer?
You
matters.
have some thinking. If you pause, you're like,
you don't play spades.
No, you don't play spades because it's a.
But that's fine.
Resounding yes or no.
That's fine not to play spades, man. Like, to me as a person, I keep going back to you. I'm sorry.
Dave's like, black people aren't a monolith. Like, you're very yes.
I play poker, right?
Yeah.
And people who are black who I play poker with, they be like, I don't fuck with poker. I'm like, do you understand poker? Understand it?
No,
right?
That's why.
But the level, and I'm not saying like I'm on a deeper level of intellect than you. I'm just saying that
I'm on a deeper level of intellect than you.
Yeah, I am. But I'm like,
it's a different game. It's a different thinking game.
Poker's like
and different strategy.
Hey, you think I got it? Call my bluff, nigga. Like, and it's the ultimate game of like we gonna like fuck you, right?
Yeah.
And spades is like who has a higher number? I mean, I'm not shedding on spades, but I'm like
it's somewhat reductive.
If more black people played poker, they would enjoy the same thrill of spades, but more people would get shot. Yeah, because the pots build. And I played poker in some high state games in Atlanta with like penthouses, like during my dark days, like back in, and I almost feel like black folks should not play poker because honestly, like
it can get heated
when you lose big pots of money when people are gambling. That's why I say a spade, something that's like pretty light. Is it like $20 a game? That's
most people don't even gamble. It's the trash. It's the humiliation.
Okay,
that causes the fight. People playing poker fight and get into it because money is on the line.
Oh, a lot of money.
The only thing that's on the line during spades is your
pride,
black
baby.
Your
pride and your black
Negro
card.
poker league,
which is why Clifton got into all this stuff. We should try to tie it back to the blackening some way.
So basically, the blackening is Revenge of Steve Urkel. That's at the end of the movie. I said this is the Revenge of Steve Urkel.
Yeah, I can see that.
Clifton, because the thing about it is Blurred's black nerds come in different shapes and sizes and form. There's cool nerds. There's not so cool nerds. There's nerds that fuck. There's nerds that don't. And then there's Clifton.
Every villain,
everybody fucks.
Every villain has an origin story. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, for me, for Clifton's character, Jermaine Fowler, who did an amazing job.
Yeah. He really disappeared in the role. That's what I was saying. Like you, if you didn't know who Jermaine Fowler was, you wouldn't even like notice. You would just be like, "Who's this guy?" But go ahead.
Jermaine Fowler is a good friend of mine. Who happy to see him on his constant rise of shit. Mm-hmm. But it was. This is why I say it was more well written than we might give it credit to because. And the cast of characters and characters really create and define a great or bad movie. His character was the person not accepted due to his blackness. And it was like, could I really be mad at him for doing that? No. So I got some indigestion right now. But I could relate very heavily as a person who came from the suburbs, who was not. My dad used to cut my hair when I was growing up. Yeah. My dad didn't know the goddamn barber.
Yeah, my dad used to cut my hair
and
too.
He'd give me fades. And they'd be like, your hair look like a dick. Because
he put the bowler
he wouldn't fade the fade. So it would just be like skin and a tip at the top. And they'd be like, you dickhead. Right? And I'm like, right?
Bro, no blame.
But I could not make my dad send me to the barbershop. But all I want to do is play video games and get good grades. But I get labeled as a bad person because these black things that people hold
such high regard.
Yes, a value are bullshit. Like, you got a pullover. You got the dope shoe. You got a good haircut. I'm like, yo, I got better grades than all y'all niggas, right? But
I'm gonna be somebody.
Like
I'm gonna go somewhere.
You can't talk.
You better wake up and pay attention.
What was interesting about that aspect of the blackening was I don't know if the messaging. Let's just put it this way. I don't think The Blackening is a deep film, but at the same time, it could potentially be a deep film because I'm trying to figure out like what exactly is the messaging. Because the question is, are we saying that blackness is a monolith?
It's not a monolith.
It's not.
Or are we saying that each black person is allowed to be who they are? Because at the same time, too, we spoke about this earlier. The black people in The Blackening, or I will say, freer black people than the generation before them. These guys are doing Molly, they're doing ecstasy, they have good paying jobs. One's gay, one's African. They're
You had an attorney.
You had an attorney. You have the biracial woman who's clearly biracial.
You could be African back in the day.
Well, I mean, yeah, but we were making fun of Africans back in the day.
The whole African booty scratchers.
We were calling them African booty scratchers. We were calling them Matumbo and all that stuff. We were making fun of Africans back in the day.
Which I never understood. And I'm also trying to figure out at what point did it switch to now everybody's like, I got to get back to my roots and figure out where I came from, claiming shit that they don't even have.
I think we were just ignorant.
And Obama.
You didn't know any better. And I know where I grew up in Delaware, we didn't have a whole lot of African people, but except my God, brother.
A lot of black folks in Delaware.
First of all, you need to drive through. We got plenty of black folks in Delaware.
What's the black city in Delaware?
Dover, Wilmington. Wilmington's probably going to be the
biggest.
They've got
black people.
It's a whole lot of black.
You'll be surprised. The hoods. Like I didn't realize that Hartford, Connecticut.
Like
Delaware.
That's like Jamaican. Like my wife's Jamaican, so
yeah.
I know. I was like, we went there. I saw a crusty, the crust,
golden crust.
I was like, okay, we here, right?
Yeah.
No, it's a lot of black. It's a lot of black people in Delaware.
Yeah. That whole like east, like not northeast, but like that whole New York, Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania. You're like shit.
That niggas don't make it to.
You're like shit.
Yeah.
I lived in Allentown, Pennsylvania for a while, and the amount of black boys that were killed in gang violence was crazy.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, this is like a small town. Why did a car blow up over on Hamilton Street? You're like, oh no, it's
shit going down.
It's
Diddy
for real.
did it.
Yeah,
definitely did it. Definitely did.
The East Coast is definitely a wild town. Like I said, when I was in Jersey for them 4 months, when my wife water broke and I was just stranded there.
Yeah.
And we went to go visit her family in Connecticut. And no, actually, we went to Martha's Vineyard to just stay in a house and have a good time. But the way to Martha's Vineyard is so wild because you see so many different levels of America. And the fact that you said that you said Allentown, we literally, I know we passed Allentown on that route. So you saying that's the hood?
There's parts of Allentown. I lived in the hood in Allentown, and I didn't even realize it. I was talking to this one chick. I was like, yo, I live over on 5th Street. She's like, that's the ghetto. Mm-hmm. And that was the end of the conversation. And I was like, really? And then shit was happening. Yeah. It was going down, and it was like, oh, shit.
Krys, are you from the East Coast too, you said?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm originally from the Virgin Islands, but Jersey is home.
Newark?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
I appreciate Jersey because it's very clear. You know when you in the hood. Like, you know I am on the wrong side of the track. Even different parts of New York, you know, like, oh, LA fucks with you because it'll be so
it's
aesthetically pleasing until you hear gunshots. I'm like, I'm sorry, where am I?
Or like, you end up on Figueroa Street. You're like, what the fuck is happening?
Like, I had to ask someone the other day where I was because I didn't know. And they're like, oh, baby, you in Compton. I was like, oh, no.
A block or two here and there could change your whole dynamic. You can be in Beverly Hills one moment and the Trapped the next.
Exactly. I miss Jersey because you knew
where you belong.
This is the good area. This is a less than good area. Yes. You're going to die. Like, I still know. Like, I remember when I was getting into the teenage years and I started going out and doing things that I probably shouldn't, my father let me know. He said, listen, Thursdays and Tuesdays, that is gang initiation night. You keep your ass off of Avon Street. You stay away from 18th. Like, to this day, when I go home to visit, I know I'll look at the calendar like, nigga, we on Avon. It's Thursday. No. Absolutely not.
I went to the airport several times, picking folks up and dropping them off from West Orange. And I don't know. This thing about Newark, I really appreciate it, is that I just felt a soul, like whether you have or you have not. Like, you know, when once you get off to go to the airport, I think it's like right near that bridge, like
Elizabeth.
Yes, yeah. But there's a street. Is it like 15th or like it's somewhere you get off? But it's these murals that align your road to the airport to your left as you're heading to the airport. And I just felt like so much flavor.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that out here. Like, I mean, actually, you know what? I take that back. There is that flavor.
Where?
In LA. I'm just saying it's not my flavor. It's like it's mostly like a Latin flavor or you know what I'm saying? Or I'm used to black spaces. And I find that when I cultivate black spaces out here, it's even hard to get black folks to come out because they're just kind of like, that's not what we do. Like, we just have get-togethers at somebody's house, but we don't really get together and congregate in black spaces. And then everybody's so like spread out. Glendale, Inglewood, it's just hard.
This is kind of how I feel. I like going to like Jade's house because Jade feels like, because like growing up in the suburbs in Pennsylvania when I was growing up, it's like when we would hang out with family and stuff, like I would hang out with black people then, and that's how I feel going to Jade's house. It feels like in LA, and maybe it's because I live in the Valley.
Yes,
it feels like a lot of stuff here is very like white centric, even if you are hanging out with other black people.
Black people hide in plain sight in LA.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
I feel like for the most part, I don't see strong black culture. You literally only have, what is it, Lemert Park? That's it. That one.
And Ladera, like
yeah.
View Park, Baldwin Hills, Ladera. Yeah. It's the same 1 mile radius.
Yeah.
That's it.
But there's no pride in it here. Like I don't feel the pro-blackness here in LA.
Well, I'll give you an example. Like doing like a show, like if it's mostly a white lineup and white audience, and it's like another black dude or whatever. And this has actually happened to me twice. I was doing a show in Mill Valley, and then I was doing a show in Santa Monica, and the host on the Santa Monica show was a black guy, a black comedian, and the headliner of the Mill Valley show was a black comedian. Both had white spouses or significant others. Not necessarily a big deal, but it has to do with the story. Okay. So I go up and do my set, and every time I did my set, these people would come up after me and like undermine everything I said. Like I remember in Santa Monica, he go, you good white folks didn't come to listen to this Def Jam stuff. And then and then the show in Mill Valley, they were like, yeah, that last comedian said the N-word. I don't like saying it. And I'm just like,
who the hell was you on that show with? Like,
huh?
That's terrible.
And again, I'm like, bro, I was literally killing, and everyone was fine, but you're trying to be like, oh, I'm not like the other guy, and it's like,
enough.
And then they proceed to do the jokes of, white people and black people do things differently, and I kind of feel that because it's like, well, they're the people that have the money and stuff, so it's like we black, but we gotta be black so that we get money. So you're just like, I'm going back to New York. Like you're very much like, I'm going back to New York because
stand up in New York felt better. It feels very policed out here. It's annoying.
Say it, Dave.
No,
like Dave. It's very annoying doing stand up out here. Like last year I only like took a couple shows and I just didn't feel like it because I'm looking around and I'm watching my peers and I just find myself thinking, if I can't say what I want to say, I don't want to do this shit.
Comedy isn't comedy if it's not authentic.
Yeah, if I feel like I'm worried about, that chick in the third row, she's a canceler, like it's gonna be something. My natural inclination is I want to go harder. Yes. But I also hear my peers in better positions than me saying, Krys, stop.
Easy.
Pull back.
Yeah, because you can get your whole career fucked up for a funny joke.
You can get your career fucked up.
Yeah. Like that's jokes crazy. That went very well in New York or any place else other than LA. There was one I had, my grandmother was Jewish and she passed away. And I would talk about, her, so she was very, very, very old, like old as dirt, Holocaust survivor. Had the the serial numbers that they tattooed. And I remember the first time she saw that I had tattoos. So now, unless you see me at the beach or something, no one will ever know. Like, my right side is covered, my back is covered. She had no idea. She'd never seen it. And it was her 90th birthday party, and we all went to Florida, and it was like a trek, like a big Jew trek down to Florida to celebrate her. And I'm in the pool, and I took off the cover up, and I turned around. She saw me. Her name was Shirley, and she's like, "Crystal, come here." And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Oh, the tattoos. You'll never be able to be buried in a Jewish cemetery." Now, I saw her, the serial numbers, and I was like, "Well, Shirley, I saw him be in good company, because technically speaking, neither can you." It went well in New York. When I tell you out here,
yeah, it was like, wait a minute.
Well, let's be honest. Like, the liberal Jewish community in New York is that's not. I mean, they're here, but it's not like it is. Like Seinfeld's performing somewhere. Like, it's different.
Yeah, but it's different, and
speak on it.
I feel like when I say the black people hide in plain sight out here, we're very much out here. It's obvious, but it feels like I'm watching them try to get attention, or they want validation, but please don't see me too much, because if you see me, you're going to see the differences that I don't need you to see, because then you won't accept me.
Well, it's kind of like being black in corporate.
Exactly what it is.
When you're like the one black person, then they have another black person, and then you go, "Oh, it's another person like me," and then they're kind of like, "Yo, like,
shut out.
I see you, but don't." And then you said, "No, let's hang out," right? And you start understanding what they mean, because even though to you it's not a big deal, you hang out with them, and then you start looking around, and all the white folks are like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a very policed interaction.
Yeah.
And
but we're doing more of the policing. I've been seeing that. The black people out here are some of the biggest. You can't say. I'll give you a perfect example. I think you and I talked about this a couple months ago, and you know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about. A friend of mine, she's in limbo, where the verdict is out on her. But she and another friend, I remember, it's a friend of hers. I really don't fuck with this bitch. But I'm very honest.
It's clear.
Very blunt to a fault. There was, what's her name? Jess Hilarious.
Yeah.
She had beef, whatever that can be, over the internet with a trans something.
Yes.
I don't remember who she was, but I dared to ask these two black women. I said, I don't understand what the problem is. Why is Jess Hilarious getting this backlash for her comment? When I tell you we were literally taking a walk, there was no one around but us. The way they jumped collectively up my ass like they were the representatives for all of the trans people. I'm like, is this a Truman Show? Do you feel like someone's watching you? We're at a point where we're not even allowed to ask a question. Yeah, but why would you say that? Because, trans women are women too. I never said that they weren't. I'm just asking,
catching the flag.
Why is this a problem? Help me understand. Now, I appreciate when you come into contact with different people, they can help shift your perspective.
Right.
I have no problem saying, I as a woman, I got very annoyed hearing, "Oh no, you're not a woman, you're a cisgender woman." I'm like, no, I'm not doing this with you. I made friends with a trans woman over the last couple months, and being able to have open dialogue with her and ask her questions, there was no canceling. There was no offense. It was, I'm glad that you can ask me a question, because that lets me know you want to get to a place of understanding. You want to bridge that gap. So I say all of that to say the black people out here, it very much feels like they are the Sam Jackson and Django. That's what I feel. It's like, do you actually have a problem with this, or do you feel that it is trendy or on trend for you to be on this side or that side?
Safe.
You're not safe. Being your most authentic self.
People's lives and livelihoods are generated by acting and the industry out here a lot of times, and the industry a lot of times can be just like it's that industry is, it can be like black run, it might not be black run, but you don't know, right? So you're not gonna fuck your money up, right? That's the important thing. So you can be militant, but you're not gonna fuck your shit up out here, man. Like, I think New York is, people can look at it like, I don't need the industry to live in New York. I can figure out a way, but out here, like,
it's sad though. It actually saddens me. Matter of fact, we talked about this. There was a Laugh Factory. They were posting for Thanksgiving about volunteering to
food.
Yeah. So when I saw the post, you know how the algorithms are. You'll see shit 5 days after it happened. I saw it posted, and I asked a friend, a peer. I said, hey, who should I talk to about volunteering for Christmas, because obviously Thanksgiving has passed. And his response to me is like, oh yeah, that would be a really good way for you to get in at the Laugh Factory. It's just, the mentality of us out here, it's like there's so much performance that people cannot acknowledge, no, this is what being genuine looks like. Yeah. And I hated the fact that I had to check him the way that I had to, because it was just a knee-jerk reaction because I was so offended by it. I was like, my nigga, you do things for love. I do it in love. We are not the same. Like, I'm asking because I want to contribute. This is not about, oh, well, how can I get in?
If I do this, I get that. This whole
but no one trusts truth out here anymore because everybody is so busy being fake.
I think our perspectives are somewhat skewed because we're not native here, and I think
these transplant niggas aren't native. They're goofy. There's some goofball ass come to LA, become this warped version of who they think they're supposed to be, ass niggas.
But most of the city, to your point, is people who came out here for a dream.
Yes.
And it's only so many resources of like the haves and the have-nots. So people will do whatever. They will befriend you. And in a city where friends are very scarce, I've met many people who have befriended me, but they all want something. I won't say they all.
Well,
that's not. Let me not say all, but a lot of them have ulterior motives.
Well, what did they leave behind back home? That's the question.
What you mean?
A lot of people, the reason they have to survive out here is because they sacrifice so much to get here.
That's fine, but that ain't got shit to do with me. And like,
you can still you can still be a good you should still be able to be a good person, your authentic self, without and excel. And I think people have gotten to the place where they feel like it has to be a trade-off. Well, I've got to do this in order to get that, and there's no in between, and I don't like that.
When I met Dave, I was working on the show, and my inboxes were full. And I specifically reached out to Dave because I respected Dave as a writer and all that stuff. And I said, hey, I don't think I was using Dave. I was just like, hey, I respect your writing and your comedy and stuff.
I didn't say all.
Yeah, I would love to bring, and I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying I would love to bring you on. But around that time, I was getting a lot of phone calls, a lot of DMs, a lot of bookings on shows.
Yeah.
And then the project I was working on went away.
And then so did those people.
And,
everything goes away.
It is what it is. But, question. Do you guys know the verses to Lift Every Voice and Sing?
All of them? No, I would have been
I
shocked.
don't even know the first verse. Like,
That's wild.
I
man.
could mumble a couple of things.
Because that was a question in the game in the movie.
So like, I feel like everyone should learn the first verse at some point, but there are too many damn verses. And like, I get you.
like the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, you should. Yeah,
You
yes.
See, they did.
Just hit one verse. I'm asking it for the culture. Everyone just learn the
Lift
first
every
verse.
voice and sing. And then after that, after everyone goes,
We didn't
lift
say
every
sing it.
voice
We
and
said-
sing. And then afterwards, everyone's like, boop, 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 something, something, something. I know I can't sing, but
Nah, it gets wild.
It's gonna
But
keep
once
me
you
up
get to
tonight.
that- once you get to that Stone in the Road,
well,
we tried.
at least
part,
you're thinking.
I'm
At
just
least you're
like,
thinking about me in bed, Chris.
I'm asleep on the couch.
I heard.
I was punched in the throat as a child. That's why I can't sing.
Okay.
It is what it is. I thought it was funny. There's jokes in it. There's so many jokes actually in the Blackening. The fact that when they were trying to figure out who's the blackest and they were listing out all the reasons, I thought that was probably a really funny part. He's like, I go to therapy. I ain't never seen Friday. I like Jimmy Fallon without the roots. I voted for Trump. All lives matter. I was
Gayness
like,
is
all right.
whiteness wrapped in dicks.
Yeah.
Hey, so let me just speak to that for a second. When we did that show in Chicago and DC, that was Torian's line, and Torian Miller, he wasn't in the movie, of course, but he was also a gay person that was in our cast. So I just love the fact that, you know, we just made. There was like people who would walk out of our show in DC, like straight black dudes, be like, "Oh man, this show too gay." And I'm just like, it's not gay. We got gay people in our cast, and they're telling experiences as like, you know, or even just talking about anything involving the sexuality. And black men can't, not black men, homophobic black men can't handle it. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just happy that to see. I don't know, like Dwayne as a gay black creator getting his story told, and he didn't have to scale back who he was, man, because that is important to that every story gets a voice, you know. And those shows in DC when we did that horror story were so great. And then, you know, we had to prove who was the blackest, right? Yeah. And then at the end, we all pulled out a bottle of hot sauce and be like, oh, got you, right? But to see that come from a 3-4 minute sketch to a fucking 2-hour movie, I'll say that once again.
It is pretty
It's
magical.
truly like magical.
It's not easy unless you're doing it, producing it yourself. It is not easy to get your
And they
stuff
got
together.
Lionsgate behind it. I mean, Lionsgate. I mean, I'm gonna say that Lionsgate is the house that Tyler Perry built, but
Why you joking?
I don't know.
I mean, it seems like Lionsgate seems to be the studio that be helping niggas. I don't know, but
You said be helping niggas. Okay.
be helping niggas. But
What if that was their slogan? Lionsgate.
we be
We
helping
be
niggas.
Helping niggas. I don't care what y'all do for promo for this episode, but that gotta be in it.
I mean, I'm hoping Lionsgate helps us.
Please.
Anyway,
After that slogan.
Canceled.
yeah. By the end of this, why did I decide to do a podcast instead of just sell my scripts? Because now I'm not gonna be able to sell them.
Drones on Figueroa. Google history.
So
I saw a hoe the other day.
you saw a hoe on Figueroa Street.
A hoe or a toot?
No, it was Inglewood.
What's a two?
A
Inglewood.
prostitute.
It was in
A
Inglewood.
toot.
Is there a difference?
I was
Yes.
very upset about having to drive Lyft. I was picking up an idiot, and then I looked over and I saw this streetwalker, and I said, "It's not that bad. At least it hasn't come to that.
I mean, she probably lives in a luxury apartment someplace, but you know.
Probably." So it was that bad. Thank you, Keenan. Thank you.
So, I don't
People
know.
pay good money for good coochie.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, they don't.
As y'all were having a very
No, they don't. I wouldn't be here at all. if they
on
did.
y'all side. You didn't hear what Jay said over here. He said, "Was it a hoe or a toot?"
Yeah,
Right? And
I
I
who?
did need to understand.
a hoe or toot. a hoe or a prostitute, and I was just like, "Oh, James,
a
James.
prostitute.
Okay. Got it.
Prostitute.
Full blown too.
So,
No, I know hoes. No, this was a prostitute.
Okay. So
everybody
knows
I get
hoes.
it now.
Exactly.
You can be a sex worker, but not be a hoe.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's work.
that's work.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we have Officer White, who's played by the dude from the Drew Carey Show. If anyone remembers that sitcom.
Absolutely not.
Okay, well we
The
have
big forehead dude.
yeah,
DJ
we
I
got the
remember
dude
it.
from the Drew
Yeah.
Carey Show. Yep, he played
remember
Drew Carey's friend.
Yeah. I think he died.
No, he's still alive.
Oh,
Damn, Chris.
He's like,
Pretty sure he's out of here.
no, no, that was some other old
It was
white
just
guy.
a movie. It was just a movie.
So he plays Officer White, and at first he shows up at the cabin, and he's like, "Yo, they usually rent this too," and then they're like white families.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then afterwards, he tries to be like, "I'm an ally," which I hate it when white people come up to me and tell me.
I
they're an
hate
ally.
that shit.
I don't want to miss this point. They said, "Oh, you didn't think we were supposed to be here." The lawyer comes up and it's just like, "Well, here's our list. All of our names are supposed to be here. Here's my ID," and kind of gives them that look. Like as soon as you see that look, you like, she got to be an attorney. She's not gonna say it, but she is.
Who?
Life can't shit.
Yeah, Lisa. No, Lisa. Antoinette Robertson's character. Yellow.
Yeah,
outfit.
yeah.
But nonetheless, she was like, "Oh yeah, they usually rent it out to," and then the black folks are like, "You mean white people?" He like, "No, families. Yeah, white families." Sorry, I'm like, okay. So like, there's actually a lot of humor in this in general, and just
In
underlying
reality.
subtleties, and just like it's real.
All I'm gonna say is, if Queen would have reacted that way in Queen and Slim, they would have not gotten shot and killed at the end of the movie. But anyway,
So
That
you
movie
said
aggravated
we
the
have
hell
to-
out of me.
so anyway, and
Did
then
that movie annoy you too?
yes, but
Okay.
that's another episode.
I enjoyed it.
I'll
But
be
she'll
back.
but she'll cut. But so he comes back at the end and he's like, "I'm here to save you guys. I'm an ally." And I love how they're like, "How we know you're like." How do we know that you're a real ally? And he says,
Because he said so.
if I was invited to a cookout, I would appreciate the invitation, but I would not come because I know that my presence as a white officer would cause
Would violate a black space.
would violate a black space or some shit. And then he tried to save them, and he ended up getting killed as well. So Jay Farrell dies. I guess Yvonne Orgy dies, even
Yep.
though we never see it.
They showed in the last part when Clifton's throwing him in the.
Okay, so he throws the body.
I
I think the funniest part about her death scene is that when they're trying to scalp her, she has a wig on,
Oh,
so
yeah.
like they rip the weave off
Yeah,
instead of
it's gone.
actually instead of like ripping off her
Ooh,
scalp.
girl, that's some good ass hair glue or weave glue.
I've been there.
Why I remember that? That's crazy, but that's cool.
Real life.
You know what's funny about that? I was thinking when I was watching this movie how that white guy was like, "Yo, I would be invited to the cookout." You know how many white people have offered to do this podcast?
How many?
A lot.
Really?
They're like, "I would love to talk about black movies with you and your friends, Keenan." And I'm like, "What?"
First of all, the same way we talked about Cat with rap shit, that would make your ratings go up so much.
Thank you. I was just
So,
going to say that.
If you don't have white people talking about black culture, y'all are fucking up, okay?
No.
Oh my
I
god!
understand.
You being serious?
I'm
Yes,
being very
very
serious.
serious.
Yes.
Have a white, I'm sorry, y'all might not like it. I'm saying.
So you're saying we need to get Matt Rife on like an episode?
Matt Rife is actually funny, and I like I like Matt Rife.
I guarantee you, just the level of game they can spread to other whites, like they'll share
The
it.
beige.
The what?
The beige.
The beige. Yeah.
I have to think about this.
Hey man, I'm saying.
Do
like,
it. Do it.
I mean, I think between the three of us,
Appropriate their
between
culture.
the
I
three
think-
of us, we can get Matt Rife on this podcast.
I think more whites saw the Blackening than black folks did. So
Well, more white people saw American Fiction too than black folks.
You are Jeffrey Wright in that movie.
Yes, I know. I'm very annoyed by the state of blackness in Hollywood.
Have you seen it?
Yes. I love the movie. It's my favorite movie of the year, actually.
Is it out for the public yet?
It's
oh
out
my
in
God,
theaters.
yeah.
Yeah, it's out in
Okay.
theaters now.
Yeah.
Not publicly until Friday.
December
I thought
16th.
it was
No, it came out December
It's in
16th
select
publicly.
theaters,
okay.
but
It ain't in the
But
burbs
anyway,
yet, but I'll wait.
I saw a screening.
He was like, I saw a screening. I got a special invite. I said, I guess I don't fucking talk about movies either. So like, you could have got an extra ticket somewhere. We could go.
All the Juneteenth parties I've gone to have been in the Valley. There have been no women at these Juneteenth, because these Juneteenth parties are all black only Juneteenth celebrations. There have been no women for the first 3 hours of these parties because people can't bring their wives and girlfriends.
Why?
Because they're white.
That's wild. That's wild.
Welcome to LA.
They're literally like blacks only, and then it's just dudes standing around in Crocs. Like,
because we get here late. Also,
no, it's because all of their
the white
spouses
women
are
will
white.
sunburn.
Okay, man.
It's no whites allowed. That's what I'm saying. It's no whites allowed at these Juneteenth parties.
I think.
And then the husbands are like, well, I'm here by myself because
You can't have whites at the Juneteenth party, man.
I didn't make the rules.
This conversation is really making me want potato salad. I don't know if anyone cares.
I want some chicken.
I want some right now.
I want some chicken right now.
Especially after this Johnny Walker. Like,
Yeah, I definitely got to eat something.
All right, before we get out of here, I think it's important for our guests and audience to know a little bit more about you. Got a quick segment called The Hot Seat. You can answer the questions as short, long-winded as you want to, fairly direct, and we'll get some context. So let's start off easy. When we're eating grits, you got salt and pepper or sugar and butter?
never sweet, dog. Ever. That's disrespectful to life. It's
To life.
Savory. Like shrimps and butter and garlic and a roux.
Yeah.
Anything other than a roux, fuck you. Right?
Okay.
So like we're not doing that.
All right, fair enough. Stripes or checks?
I'm sorry?
Shoes.
Adidas
Nikes
or
or Adidas? Adidas.
Oh man, that's hard because Jordan's for life, but these new Fear of Gods, these Jerry Lorenzos that now that he's on Adidas, it's kind of hard. But I'm still a Jordan 1 guy, so so checks.
All right, whose side are you on, Cat or the rest of the comedians?
Oh boy, Cat's genius. This is all just selling concert tickets and getting Netflix streams. Like to not be relevant, like really in outside of Alligator Man on Atlanta, which he got an Emmy for, right? But they're talking about Friday After Next. Talking points. That was 20 years ago. 21 years ago.
2 decades.
22 years ago, to be honest with you. Cat knows how to stir the pot.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe that, you a fat face on life.
Did an excellent job. Oh, you fat face on. I got it.
And that,
I
you
saw what
got it.
happened
You
there.
saw what I
Thank you.
did.
I was slow. It
Okay.
landed. All right. Reparations or nah?
Nah, man, I'm good. Like, let me just like this Chappelle episode. Honestly, I just don't trust that niggas gonna do shit with it. No way. So like, just let the people who.
So every black person can get $1.2 million in reparations and we'll be good. And you're like, nah, don't do that.
Okay, I see your agenda in this. Yes, I mean I would like 1.2 million. It's not gonna happen, nigga. Like I appreciate your hypothetical question for the show, but I'm like,
It's in the works. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, favorite TV show ever? It's the hard question.
It's not hard.
Even better.
It's not hard. It's not hard for me. Oh damn, it is hard for me. Because I got two,
Give me both.
and they're on opposite sides of the spectrum.
Go for it.
On my left side, I got the Boondocks.
Yeah.
On my right side, Arrested Development. And if you ever watch Arrested Development, first 3 seasons, it's the funniest shit. We know about the Boondocks in terms of like for the culture and the jokes. But I mean, Arrested Development, it was just like, man, y'all were just like joke. Stupid topic. But it was so fucking good. And if you've never seen it, it's on Netflix.
I'm adding it
watch
right now.
that shit. Man, when you watch it, text me and be like,
I
Dave,
got you. I'm adding it right now.
watch it tonight. You pour you a little drink when you go home and watch it. Especially season 1 and 2. Like, oh my God.
All right, I got you. Jonathan Majors, he get a fair shake or he get what he deserved?
I think he's a good dude, man. I mean, like the Coretta Scott King quotes that got kind of misconstrued about stuff. Side note, if you would have ever have a, I'm about to burp, so in my mouth, very loud. If you ever fuck up, isn't Megan Good like the best person to have? Like
she is perfect.
I've met Megan Good. She's very attractive. Good for him.
Thank you, Keenan. Keenan, I just want you to know that you like the freaky nigga on this show, right?
Yes, yes. That's my new 2024 is a new year for me. I usually just sit here and just be quiet, but no.
I told you to get these hoes.
Keenan, freaky nigga Baker.
Yeah, I got you. You were talking about the Coretta Scott King and getting misconstrued.
I'm just saying. I don't know, man. Whenever you running from white women like on camera, like, it's for a reason, and I just feel like, I believe him, man. And also, give peace a chance. Like, do we got to get rid of Kang? Like Big Daddy Kang?
I thought that was ridiculous. Like it was just too much. But I think, I don't know, maybe last episode we had talked about like the decision was already made or whatever, and just because of optics. But I mean, the man got charged for an accident. Like after all the trial, all the data, like nothing we saw on film, any of that stuff.
I think it'll blow over. I mean, like over time, and we'll invite him back into the world. But this world is so fickle, man. Like it's times when on stage, I'm very fearless, but I could easily get a call from any company I write for and be like, Dave, that joke you told on stage about how basketball teams should be called by like really what they are. Like, there's no Jazz in Utah. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there should be in Atlanta, yes. Like I feel like, like not the Hawks, but the Atlanta, yeah. Like
oh,
that's funny to me.
That is funny,
right? But I can't say that. But that's sit on the podcast, so. But just know that wasn't me saying a joke in public. That's just how my mind works about like stuff that's funny, but I can't say it.
I got it.
I just said it.
All right, last thing. What's one thing you want the audience to know about you, your brand, any projects that you're working on, and specifically where you want people to follow you if you would like them to follow you?
Yeah, I want them to come out to shows, man. Like I produce one of the dopest shows in the country every first month at the Comedy Store called A Dope Comedy Show, and we showed out last Saturday, man. Like we had a ball. Issa Rae was in the building. Jonica, who plays Chastity, she went up on the show.
Oh, I'm hot,
man.
I was gonna come.
It was. I got tired. It was. It's 10:30, so it's not for the week. But the fact that I have a late show, so I can put up whoever I want, whoever drops in. You might see Chappelle, you might see Chris Spencer, you just might not see nobody. But it's just one of them shows where on a Saturday night, every first Saturday. It rocks, man, and it's just a good ass show, and it's just fun. I host a show with love, so it's just a good time.
Yeah, I've been to your shows. It's great, and it's with love. Cool. All right, well, that's all, folks.
Yo, thank you for joining us, Dave, on this great episode. It was a little all over the place,
that's
but
good.
Still going to be the blackening,
because it's the blackening of America.
Of America.
So it was deeper than what we thought it was gonna be, but we got there.
Yep. So y'all listening, y'all know what to do. Give it up for my co-host,
Jade Barnes.
Follow him on @JadeBrandon on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram @KeatonJFloyd. Also follow the podcast Kultur'd Pod on Instagram, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kultur'd Podcast, and follow us on everywhere you can get podcasts. Thank you for joining us. We're out.
Peace. Kobe.